Well, we are on our way to the gym once again. Another day, another workout. And it's about 11 o'clock right now. We've taken care of some things, some business for the day. We just did some business emails. We were just, working on the product with our manufacturer. And, aside from just, a couple of emails, there really isn't too much more work that I have each day. That's pretty much the extent of it for now. I'm really looking forward to when there is more that can be done. But we've kind of taken care of everything. We've got a website that works pretty well. We're waiting to implement a couple of things on it, just for when we actually have the product basically ready to go, so we can save on some subscription fees for the time being. But it's looking like we're almost ready to go. So that's great. Come to the gym with me today as we wait for this product to be ready. So for those of you who don't know, this is a second channel that I've got. I have a main channel and I haven't uploaded on there for a very long time. And if you're watching on, something else like Spotify or Rumble, then this is just going on the main channel. But on YouTube, I've got a stock market channel where, I used to post a lot of my thoughts about certain stocks and, post, maybe some live streams about what I was actually doing day to day in the stock market. And that was quite fun. And I have wanted to return to that because it was just really neat having a community of people that all cared about the same kinds of things. And it was a little bit more niche than just a general stock market group, because when you're part of a general stock market group, people are talking about every stock out there, and it maybe doesn't get super specific on too many things. But when you have a group of people that all care about the same stuff, then, it can become a little bit more niche. And it was just fun to, have a collective group where we were all kind of in the same stuff, talking about the same things, So that was very fun. It was fun to have a little community too. And I do plan on posting on that channel again, but only when my business is ready to go. That's my plan for like a fun return video is, just talking about the new business that I started up and explaining kind of why I quit YouTube for the time being at least. And will I ever return to it to really, making like stock market videos and stuff? I don't know. I mean, it was fun, but there were also downsides to it, which I won't talk about here. I'll get into it on the main channel, but that's what's been going on. So if you found this and you were maybe a subscriber or just a viewer of the old channel, congratulations. You figured out, where I'm at. So I'm literally just in the car driving to the gym most of the time. That's what I do nowadays. And my neck's a little sore. We've been doing some neck workouts, which have been really helping me out with the neck pain. My mom has a long neck, and she gave that to me genetically. And so I also have a long neck, and it kind of makes us prone to neck injuries just because our heads are heavy and our necks have a lot of weight on them. And so we get sore necks from time to time. And so I've been doing these neck workouts to try to kind of limit that and to strengthen my neck. And it has been working. I've noticed that since I've started doing those, I have had far fewer neck injuries or just any, neck pain at all. And the neck pain that I do get tends to be as a result of the workout, but it's kind of like one of those muscle growing pains, when you do a hard workout and you're sore the next day. It's kind of like that kind of a pain in my neck when I do those. So it's a good pain. It's not like one of those long lasting, like, sometimes you just get a crick in your neck and it lasts for like a week. Those are rough. I used to get those as a kid and no longer. So that is nice. And will we do a neck workout today? Probably not, because we're already, our neck's kind of sore from yesterday's, but it's Friday. We should do something fun. Maybe a little bit of bench. Well, I love doing bench. Bench is just a fun one because you just feel like you're lifting so much weight. It's probably my favorite exercise. You lay on the bench, and I mean, the most that I've done has been 225 for a rep. And so that's my max. Can I hit my max every day? I don't know. I definitely don't try to hit it every day. But we'll probably do some bench. It's Friday. Friday used to be my chest day. And recently I've kind of fallen off with having dedicated days for different body parts. I used to be pretty structured. Monday was arms, Tuesday was back, Wednesday was core and cardio, Thursday was legs, and Friday was chest. And then I would mix in like some other body parts on each day just to keep them active. But recently I've just been enjoying doing kind of full body workouts each day and really just whatever I feel like. So that's what I've been up to gym-wise. And I've been liking it. I've also been walking backwards on the treadmill, which that's been good for my feet. I've noticed that my feet get sore doing that. Walking backwards on a treadmill with an incline for like maybe just 10 minutes, and it's not like I'm sprinting backwards. It's like at a speed of 3 miles per minute or 3 miles per hour, and doing that for 10 minutes. And I've noticed that my feet get sore. It's working out some foot muscles, which is weird. I've never worked out my feet really, other than maybe calf raises. I feel like that's a little bit of feet because you're kind of standing on your toes and lifting your foot up, which it's mostly your calf, but I feel like your foot must be doing something during that process. So that's a fun one too. I've been working that in every day. Been doing some calf raises because my calves, I hadn't been working them out that much. And if I did, it would be like once a week on leg day, I'd be working my calves out, and they just hadn't grown. But the past couple of weeks, I have noticed some significant growth and just much more tone in my calves. They're a lot more solid feeling, having done calf workouts every day. And I think that that's kind of the key for my body type. And for me is just, if there's something that I want to grow or something that I want to improve on, I don't think it's enough to get some gains to do it once a week. But if I really want to make a stark improvement, I think doing it every day is really the key. And when I say every day, I mean every weekday. I'm not coming to the gym on the weekends typically. Every now and then I will. But usually I try to do every weekday and then take some rest days on the weekends and just chill out. So, the weekends are a fun time. The weekends, I really like to do something with friends on the weekends. That's just a fun thing. It's like during the week, people can be busy. And on the week, I do like to do game nights. Haven't done one in a while, though. Should do a game night. I keep telling people I will, and then I just drop the ball. I don't do it because it takes some planning, but it really isn't that bad. It's just, it's a matter of texting people, which, it was always so much easier living on a college campus and just having your friends be your neighbors. I think Naval said, the quality of your life improves dramatically when your friends are your neighbors. And I 100% believe that to be true. It seems like it gets so much easier when you have friends as neighbors and you don't have to coordinate any meetings with them. You don't have to schedule times. You just walk over, knock on their door, and if they're free, they're free. If they're not, they're not. But that was the dream. And that's honestly one of the beauties of college. I personally am not using my college degree for much of anything, right? I got the degree and it wasn't super, it just, I'm not going down the traditional career path. And so it hasn't really done much for me having a college degree. Maybe it will in the future, who knows? But the experience of college itself was incredibly fun. And just it was eye-opening in a bunch of ways, coming from this area. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina, and everything in this city is kind of spread out. It's, I think the term for it is it's an urban sprawl. And that just means that instead of a city like New York, where everything was built vertically and in a very concentrated area, Raleigh is a very large area. And there's a bunch of things that got built far away from each other, and you really need to use a car to get where you're trying to go, unless you happen to, have an apartment downtown and then you've got a lot of stuff near you. But even then, you'd probably want to be biking to get where you want to go, just because everything is kind of distanced from everything else, which is really nice. I mean, you can look out the window, and I mean, we're going past a cow farm. I don't know if you can see the cows out there, but we just passed a cow farm. And we're also, I mean, and we're like a mile or two away from NC State, which is the college I went to. And so everything is kind of spread out, but that makes it a little difficult to get together with people because it takes so long to get where you're trying to go. You don't happen to live right next to whatever it is that you want to go and do, or whoever it is you want to go and see. And so just because of how the city's spread out, it made things a little bit difficult in high school, especially before I had a car, to get together with people, because you'd have to, bug your parents for a ride, or just, change the pickup time from high school if you guys wanted to go somewhere afterwards. And if you have a sibling, they're getting picked up at a different time from you, and it's not, convenient for the parents. And, once you have a car, it's a lot more convenient, but it's still not as easy as just when you're living on a college campus and everything that you want to do is on that campus and everyone that you want to see is on that campus. And it's all within a 15-minute walk, one edge to the other. That's really it's a different life. And it's a life that everybody used to live before cars. I mean, before we had cars, cities were built and you kind of lived in the area that you were born, and you never had, and you'll say, oh, well, what's the difference between walking 15 minutes and driving 15 minutes? Well, the thing is, a 15-minute drive often takes a lot longer than that because you have to find parking. I mean, one time, just last weekend, I was going bowling with a buddy, and, we drove to one bowling alley, and it was all full, and so we found another bowling alley online, drove there another 15 minutes, and we got there, and it took me, well, actually, I never ended up finding parking for it. I was looking for parking for like 15 minutes, and he found parking, he went in, and that bowling alley was also full. So we never ended up going bowling. But, even right now, I'm just kind of stuck in traffic, which, it's not actually bad traffic. A lot of, if you're up north, you're looking at this and you're saying, no, you're moving again. That's not traffic. You're right, it's not. It was just the car got stopped. But, walking is also, I feel, potentially more pleasant than driving. Driving is comfortable. You've got AC and stuff. I personally don't. My AC is broken, and I should fix that. I don't need to right now. It's winter, and so it's very temperate, actually. During the winter in North Carolina, apparently, it's not cold. It's just pleasant anymore. It used to get cold. We used to get snow, but no longer. I haven't seen snow the past couple of years, so it's nice in some ways, but I do miss a white Christmas. I remember there were a couple of those when I was a kid, and those were always the best. But there is something to be said for living in an area. What I'm trying to get at is there's something to be said for living in an area where everything is condensed and you're close to people, and maybe you don't even need a car, just because there is some kind of barrier to entry about getting in the car and driving. I need an oil change. I just reminded myself of that. I'm almost 1,000 miles over at this point. Not quite. I'm just like, 800 or 900, but I should really get that oil change sooner rather than later. That needs to happen. So I'm basically parked. I'm basically where I'm going to park before I walk to the gym. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.